Let's study about evolution and molecular evolution. Okay, first of all, what is evolution? Well, in evolution, maybe the forms of life is changing over the time, accommodating the environmental changes are the challenge. Then, what is changed during the evolution? Well, maybe you can see those changes in shape and skin colors and their functions. This kind of the appeared changes to the outside of the individual of the body we call phenotype. A phenotype, in a sense, is a little difficult to quantify or sometimes to define exactly what was changed. And there is some other information changes behind of this phenotype that is so-called genotype change. Now we know that genetic information is stored in DNAs. And those DNA information is digital information composed of four components, A, T, C, G. And if there is any of those sequence of this genetic information is changed, we call it mutations. So mutation generate the changes of a genotype. And it can generate different function or different appearance and different shape of those individuals. And then among those individuals, there are selection process. The stronger or more proper one, they can be selected through this process. And mutation generate diversity. And then through those diversity generation, the best fitting individual can be selected. And the selected one, they can amplify their numbers. And for next generation, they generate another mutations. And this repeated process is what we call evolution. Then, is there a way to accelerate the process of evolution? Maybe first method is increase the mutation speed or mutation chances. Then it can generate the diversity very quickly. If the mutation rate is the low, then the diverse generation is quite slow. Another approach is maybe applying natural pressure. So let's say if the environmental change is harmful to majority of the population, but some of them, if they can survive better than the majority, then they can be winner or selected ones, and then they can occupy all the leftover spaces and resources. That's why this can be a good example of the crisis is an opportunity for the survivors. Chicken is an interesting example. If you think about the population of animals, chicken is the largest population they have. So it's even larger than pigs and other cows and other wildlife animals. Now we are worrying about the extinction, but chicken number is much, much larger than any other animals. So in evolution, the viewable point, in a sense, we can say chicken is kind of very successful during the evolution, and this was achieved by natural pressure given by human beings. Now let's think again about the generating diversity. Mutation is to apply those changes of a sequence on DNA. Maybe experimentally we can speed up that mutation by applying X-ray or UVs. But still, the changes happens point by point for each DNA. Very interestingly, nature invented another much, much faster the new method of generating diversity. That is the recombination by the invention of cells. For example, human genome is not stored in one big book. Human genome is divided into small books composed of 23. And another interesting point is we don't have only one set. Actually, we have two sets. One set is from father and the other set is from mother. So in the same way, when we make our offsprings, we divide this into half into sperm and half into egg. And here, the recombination comes in. Now, among these 23 sets, 23 pairs of the genetic information, they do not go into exactly same set. They can make the random recombination among them. So that means if we have 23 pairs of the chromosome, then in principle we can generate the combination of 2 to the 23. This is almost 8 million kinds. So that means if we generate a sperm cell or egg cell, we can generate 8 millions of different kind of sperm and different kind of eggs. By this recombination, now we can think how much diversity can be generated. So then we can compare the genetic identity ratio. If there are identical twins, they share exactly the same genetic information. They have 100% of identity. How about between my father and me? It would be one half, isn't it? Half of my gene is from father, the other half is from mother. And the connection, if you think, my father and myself is connected through one node. In Korean language, we call this is iljeon. How about the relationship between my grandfather and me? And we are connected through two nodes. So my father is in the middle, and then my father and grandfather, they share 50% of identity, and my father and me shares another 50%. So altogether, these two nodes generate 25% identity between my grandfather and me. And utilizing this information, we can generate the general formula for this genetic identity ratio. The formula would be like this. So that is, when the node number increases and the identity decreases in this formula, 1.5 to the n. Let's extend this discussion into my brother and me. If you draw those node number through my father, myself and my brother has two nodes, and that implies that we should have maybe 25% identity, but actually we have a closer than that because we share the same mother, so we have that effect through mother side too. So as an end result, we have a 50% identity through this common parents mother factor. Now this node analysis gives us a quite interesting insight. If we have closed node, in a sense, the closer Chonsu, then we have more identity, more identical genetic information and background. And this gets interesting the point that what is the unit of evolution? Well, sometimes people believe that the evolution of the subject or the unit is a species. But as we have seen, this kind of a closer node or chonsu, maybe it could be family, or maybe it's an individual. Well, very interestingly, rather than this kind of a macroscopic the bodies, maybe the genes, even invisible small microscopic the unit, gene may be the subject of the evolution. This interesting other concept is introduced in terms of the selfish gene the idea.